Hi, this is Frida Brown, and I'll be doing my management interview.
Tell me about yourself and why you feel you are qualified for this management position.
I'm currently a nurse working on a telemetry unit. While working in this position, I've served in many leadership roles in several committees as well as in a mentorship program. While I enjoy bedside nursing, I will be obtaining my BSN this summer, and I'm ready to take on a new challenge and transition to the management side of nursing. I believe that I am an ideal match for the Med-Surg manager at Oceanic Hospital because of our shared mission of optimizing human and financial resources to provide excellent patient care.
What is your style of leadership? What style do you prefer your supervisors to display and why?
I tend to be a democratic leader. When managing groups of people, I think it is important to demonstrate that you value the thoughts and ideas of your subordinates while still maintaining control and ultimate decision-making power. This fosters trust and contributes to overall production and job satisfaction. Where there are certainly circumstances where autocratic or laissez-faire styles are more appropriate, when referring to a supervisory role on a med-surg floor, I believe that democratic is the best option.
Describe the core values that are most important to you and why.
I've put a lot of thought into deciding my core values, and I've done some research, and I believe that the 4 core values described by the National League of Nurses are most appropriate to guide my practice at the bedside as well as my leadership and management practice. The first one is caring, demonstrating consideration and concern, recognizing needs of others, and acting to make sure that their best interest is being served. Integrity, that would include honesty and acting in a way that is driven by morality. Promoting integrity is promoting open communication and ethical decision making. Diversity, demonstrating acceptance and respect for each individual, viewing diversity as an advantage, allowing multiple perspectives to view a problem, and treating each person with respect and dignity. Excellence. Being committed to excellence means never being satisfied with baseline. Always being driven to improve and grow, always looking to the future to see what is ahead and how can we best get there. It means a commitment to both be a teacher and a learner, to constantly be seeking new evidence-based practice, and having a commitment to continuous quality improvement as well.
Give an example of a model of care that you believe is effective in delivering high quality, fiscally responsible care.
I believe that the case management model is the best model of care that is both provides high quality and is fiscally responsible. I've done some research into the magnet program, and the magnet program also advocates for a case management model among other primary care models as well. So this model is beneficial because it puts nurses right back at the bedside and relies on the professional knowledge and skill of nurses. This benefits the quality of care and also increases job satisfaction. Additionally, one of the benefits of this model is that it is organizationally and patient beneficial for financial resources because it allows for early detection and prompt intervention of any patient problem. This is based on using the care plan that utilizes nursing knowledge to assess and evaluate patients' response to treatment. And if there's a deviation to this plan, then it allows for rapid intervention and it can prevent a lot of future complications. So if you are going to be improving patient outcomes and decreasing staff turnover, then that is definitely a great way to achieve your goal of high quality, fiscally responsible care.
List 3 skills that you feel are most important for managers to use when leading an interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary team. To what extent do you possess these skills?
I think that problem solving and decision making skills are very important. This has to do with conflict resolution as well as allocating resources. I also believe that communication skills are very important. That is inclusive of working with other staff and managers as well as being a liaison. Prioritization and time management skills are additionally important. This includes planning, budgeting, being able to meet your goals on time, and it also includes delegation. I believe that I am skilled in all of these areas. However, my absolute best area is in my interpersonal skills. I am an excellent communicator, and I strongly believe that collaboration is critical to good leadership. I think that being able to serve as a liaison, as managers do, is important, and I am very good at working with both staff members as well as other members of the transdisciplinary team and managers in other departments and other figures throughout the organization. I think that I shine in motivating others and keeping my team feeling supported and empowered so that together we can achieve all of the goals that we are setting out to achieve.
What management skills are you lacking? What is your plan for developing these skills?
A skill that does not come as naturally for me is delegation. Like I mentioned before, I believe that I'm very strong at communicating, and my organizational skills are sound as well. However, while those skills are very consistent with my personality, delegating is not one that comes naturally to me. I generally feel that it's easy to fall into the trap of, if you want something done right, then you do it yourself, and then you can trust that you know the job has been done to the standard that you think is necessary. However, I know that I need to constantly challenge myself to remember that delegation is an essential skill and necessary to achieve your overall goals. And delegation has to be considered when you're planning and prioritizing your tasks. Another thing to keep in mind with delegation is that it also serves to enhance the staff's professional growth and development. So being able to stay focused on achieving the goal and just making sure that you're delegating appropriately, the right tasks to the right people, and are specific about the parameters in which the task needs to be done, it makes it a lot easier to continue to delegate as appropriate.
In what ways are planning and budgeting related? What factors would you consider when planning a budget?
Planning is essential to budgeting. To plan is to give advanced thought and decision making to future tasks and goals. It sets the stage for future actions. And the budgeting process requires researching past budgets, expenses, circumstances, and then analysis and evaluation of this data to formulate a new plan. Budgets are the guideline for what you can afford for the next year, so you need to plan appropriately so that you can have a productive year ahead. It's critical that the appropriate amount of time be allotted to ensure that this task gets completed successfully. Again, considering the previous budget, financial performance, and the goals and financial projections of both the organization as a whole and the individual unit is critical. This is definitely not a task that you can put on the back burner and save until the last minute to get the finished product. This requires continuous attention. In order to be able to devote appropriate attention to it, you must plan accordingly.
Let's assume
Well, first I would analyze the variance and determine the cause and determine whether or not it was something controllable. You always have to identify the cause before you can investigate how to fix things. So it's important to identify why the budget would be insufficient before determining your action plan. There could be several causes for this. For example, if you have employees out on medical leave for an extended period of time, that creates holes in your schedule that perhaps you're filling by having your own staff pick up extra shifts and therefore go into overtime. Overtime is very expensive and can eat through a budget pretty quickly. So if this is the cause of your variance, it's possible that you may need to look into solutions such as supplemental staffing float pools, or if there's a shared staffing help list. Additionally, if you are having a high rate of turnover, the cost of replacing and training new employees is very expensive. Plus, you have holes in your schedule before you replace that former employee. So if high turnover is to blame, you need to investigate why your staff is leaving. If they are from outside causes that are beyond your control, then that's one thing, but if low staff morale and low job satisfaction is to blame, then it's important that you investigate why your staff is unhappy and do what you can to fix things and make your floor a good place to work. So another possibility could be an inappropriate staffing plan. This would require further analysis of the workload, the skill mix, and the patient census data. And then after that analysis is done, it might be possible that the nurse-to-patient ratios may need to be adjusted, or you may need to alter your staffing pattern.
Your level of emotional intelligence. Give 2 examples of how your emotional intelligence has positively impacted a group of team.
I believe that I have a high level of emotional intelligence, and I believe that having these skills is essential to effective leadership and management. Being self-aware, having control over your emotion, staying motivated, showing empathy, and communicating and building rapport with colleagues are all building blocks for creating a positive work environment with high morale and low turnover. Being able to stay cool under pressure, accept constructive criticism, and develop a culture of trust and support where your staff feels comfortable discussing issues with you and at the same time respecting your decisions is critical to good leadership. An area where I've had a positive impact on my group because of my strong emotional intelligence has definitely been in my mentorship program. This program pairs a seasoned nurse with a new graduate nurse and helps the new graduate nurse as they transition into their role for the first time as staff nurse. So they come to their mentor with problems that are sort of unique to somebody who has no experience in this field. So it's very important that you're able to place yourself in their shoes and see the problem from their perspective. Being a new nurse is very stressful and overwhelming, and to remember how scary it is to have this job for the first time is critical. When you're relating with somebody and they're coming to you with their problems, you need to be able to demonstrate empathy in order to effectively problem solve together and build trust in that relationship. Another area where I've demonstrated success due to my emotional intelligence is keeping my group motivated. There have been times where conversation on the floor has shifted into a negative direction. Nursing is a very stressful job, and sometimes it can cause emotions to flare. And not everybody is good at self-regulating, and not everybody can compartmentalize their emotions and process them in a way that can keep them effective nurses. So I think it's important, since I do have good motivational skills, to keep my staff motivated with me while we're working and keep everybody committed to giving excellent patient care and to channel their emotions appropriately. For example, just last week a friend of mine colleague rather, was upset because a family member had come in and had yelled at her for something that she had no control over. It was an issue really pertaining to not feeling like she's communicating with a physician very well, and just generally very frustrated. And again, dealing with upset family members is just a part of the job, and you just have to do your best. However, this nurse took it very personally and became very upset and didn't even want to go back in that room again. And I had to remind her, sometimes people act out based on emotion that has nothing to do with you, and it's our job to overcome that. And furthermore, while you may have felt unappreciated by the family member, I know you came out of that room before, after you tucked the patient in bed, and they said, "Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me, and I'm so comfortable right now, and I know I'm going to sleep well tonight, and I know I can call you if I need anything." And it really warmed your heart and made your day. So I think if you can get to know your group and know what motivates them on a personal level, it can be really beneficial to keeping them motivated overall.
Is there anything else you feel would be important for me to know about your qualifications to lead and manage the med-surg unit?
I would just like to reinforce why I'm a great fit for this position. I have an experience in leadership roles and a history of excelling in challenging situations. My strong motivation, my optimism, as well as my interpersonal and administrative skills will all allow me to successfully transition into a management role. I just want to reiterate how excited I am by this opportunity and how strongly I believe I'm an ideal candidate to lead and manage this unit. Thank you so much for your time. I've really appreciated the opportunity to discuss my qualifications with you.